Where do you see Magic Johnson fitting into all this?
Well, here's how Magic Johnson fits in all of this, and I talked about this on my radio show. Doesn't get mentioned too much because we're always talking about Will Cain, but there's a lead-in to Will Cain on ESPN Radio. It would happen to be the Stephen A. Smith Show from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time nationwide in 250-plus markets across the United States of America. But I'm sure that's dwarfed by Will Cain. Believe what you want. Here's the deal. Magic Johnson, as I said on my radio show yesterday, I'm not going to say he's in the lion's den as of yet, but make no mistake about it. Magic Johnson just pulled off a trade with Rob Pelinka, and as a result, they added Rodney Hood, Larry Nance Jr., they sent them Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance Jr. to Cleveland. They created enough cap space to not go after just one, but potentially two max players. I love me some Magic Johnson. That's my brother. Love him to death. And I'm wishing him nothing but the best. But let's be very, very clear. The summer of 2018 coming up and the summer of 2019, understand whether it's because stars demand trades or because they're available through free agency. We've got LeBron James, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard potentially, Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson. Between the summer of 2018 and the summer of 2019, I want to be very, very clear with what I'm about to say. If Magic Johnson doesn't get one of those dudes in a Laker uniform, he has failed. It's that simple. This is what, and I've said this about Phil Jackson, who did nothing but steal money from the New York Knicks, and James Dolan pulled off the heist of the century as far as I'm concerned. The man got $60 million for drafting one player in Kristaps Porzingis. And other than that, he was asleep at the wheel or chilling in Montana doing something that Shaq alluded to during his Hall of Fame speech. Here's the deal. In the case of Magic Johnson, I don't anticipate that because Magic Johnson understands what comes along with his role as president of basketball operations. It's not just about drafting. It's not just about creating cap space. It's also about recruiting. You have to be able to recruit. And you in Los Angeles, representing the purple and gold, the greatest franchise arguably ever, okay, that we're talking about, which is the Los Angeles Lakers. And over the course of 2 summers, 2018, 2019, we got 5 marquee guys that may be there for the taking, because I believe that Anthony Davis is going to ask out of New Orleans. We got 5 guys. We've got LeBron, we've got Paul George, we've got Anthony Davis, we've got Kawhi Leonard potentially, because we're hearing that L.A. may be of interest if San Antonio doesn't work out. And then obviously you've got Klay Thompson, whose daddy doesn't get mentioned nearly enough, doing great work for ESPN Radio in L.A. By the way, was on a couple of championship squads with the Lakers, okay? His son Klay, one of the top 5 shooters in the history of the game. As far as I'm concerned, 5 of those dudes, you got to get one of them. If you're Magic Johnson. To me, that's what's on my mind. That's why I say Magic Johnson has everything to do with this subject, because the Lakers got to get somebody.